In a world that often equates confidence with outward appearances, we must remember that true confidence lies not in the fleeting recognition of others, but in the steadfast mastery of our own character. It is not a matter of boasting or pride, but of internal strength and virtue. Confidence, in the Stoic sense, is not reliant on the approval of the crowd or the circumstances that surround us, but on our ability to govern our thoughts, actions, and reactions. To be confident is to remain unshaken, to stand firm in the face of adversity, and to know that the only true measure of our worth lies within ourselves, not in the judgment of others. This path to confidence, guided by Stoic principles, is not one of arrogance or force, but of quiet resolve, wisdom, and self-discipline. Let us now explore how the Stoic teachings can lead us to a confidence that is grounded in virtue, unperturbed by external forces, and capable of withstanding the trials of life. 1. The nature of true confidence. Confidence is often mistaken for the outward show of strength, an illusion crafted by appearances and reinforced by the shallow praise of others. Many seek confidence in the approval of those around them, in the accumulation of wealth, or in the mastery of worldly pursuits. Yet, the Stoic understanding of confidence stands in stark contrast to this fleeting, external view. True confidence is not born from external validation, nor does it depend on the ever-changing opinions of others. It is rooted in the inner peace and self-sufficiency that come from understanding one's own nature, controlling one's desires, and cultivating virtue. To understand the nature of true confidence, we must first ask ourselves what it means to be truly confident. Is it the loud, unshakable certainty displayed by those who dominate conversations, or is it the quiet, unyielding strength of a person who knows their worth, regardless of the praise or criticism they may receive? Confidence, in its purest form, is the serene acceptance of one's own abilities, limitations, and circumstances. It is an unwavering trust in one's character and actions, guided by wisdom and virtue, rather than the transient whims of fortune. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that true confidence comes from aligning ourselves with nature and living in accordance with reason. When we act in harmony with virtue, justice, courage, wisdom, and temperance, we are confident in our integrity, for we know that our actions are driven by principles that cannot be swayed by external events. It is not in our power to control the outcomes of our efforts, nor the actions of others, but we are always in control of our own thoughts and actions. This is where true confidence lies, in the ability to maintain our composure, our virtue, and our purpose, regardless of what may happen around us. Consider the great Stoic leaders who exemplified this true confidence. Epictetus, for example, taught us that our confidence should not be tied to our possessions or social status. He famously said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." True confidence comes not from avoiding misfortune or seeking a life of comfort, but from cultivating the inner strength to face whatever comes our way with dignity and equanimity. A Stoic leader knows that the world is beyond their control, but their response to it is within their power. This response, marked by calm, reason, and virtue, gives them confidence in every situation, not because they are immune to hardship, but because they are confident in their ability to endure and learn from it. In a world that constantly urges us to seek approval, success, and validation from others, the Stoics' path offers a radically different approach. Instead of seeking external sources of confidence, we must look inward, toward the cultivation of wisdom and self-discipline. The Stoic leader understands that true confidence is not loud or boisterous, it is the silent strength of the soul that remains unmoved by praise or blame. When you find yourself relying on the approval of others, pause and reflect on the wisdom of the Stoics. They remind us that the only true and lasting validation comes from within. It is the satisfaction of knowing that we have acted in accordance with our highest values, that we have lived a life of virtue, and that we have faced each moment with courage and resilience. To embody true confidence is to free ourselves from the shackles of external judgment. It is to recognize that we are not defined by the opinions others hold of us, but by the actions we take, the integrity we maintain, and the purpose we pursue. Confidence is not about impressing others or accumulating accolades. It is the quiet assurance that we are living in harmony with our nature, that we are the architects of our own destiny, and that we have the power to shape our own character. Let us also remember that true confidence does not come from an inflated sense of self-importance or a desire to dominate others. It is not arrogance or pride, but a humble recognition of our own worth and potential. The Stoic leader, confident in their own abilities, is not concerned with outsigning others. They understand that true strength is not in comparison, but in the mastery of oneself. They know that confidence is not a competition, but a personal journey, one that is measured not by the approval of others, but by the depth of one's own self-understanding. In the pursuit of true confidence, we must also practice self-awareness. Confidence is not blind arrogance. It is the product of a clear-eyed understanding of our strengths and weaknesses. The Stoic leader takes time to reflect on their actions, to examine their motives, and to correct their course when necessary. They do not deceive themselves into believing they are perfect, but they are confident in their ability to improve, to learn from their mistakes, and to continue striving toward virtue. True confidence, then, is not something that can be acquired overnight. It is a lifelong practice, one that requires continuous self-examination, growth, and dedication. It is built upon the solid foundation of virtue, and it thrives in the fertile soil of wisdom and reason. When we cultivate these qualities within ourselves, our confidence will be unshakable, for it will not depend on external forces but on the unyielding strength of our own character. To be confident in the Stoic sense is to recognize that we have all that we need within us. It is to stand firm in the knowledge that our worth does not depend on the fleeting judgments of others, but on the integrity of our actions and the wisdom of our choices. This confidence, born from virtue and wisdom, will guide us through life's challenges, not as a shield against adversity, but as a steady force that remains unshaken, no matter the circumstances. 2. Confidence is built on inner mastery. In the pursuit of true confidence, we must first understand that it is not external circumstances or the praise of others that grants us strength, but the mastery we have over our own mind and actions. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that the key to enduring life's trials and living a life of purpose lies in self-mastery. It is through the deliberate control of our thoughts, emotions, and desires that we build the foundation for lasting confidence. Without inner mastery, confidence is nothing more than an illusion, fleeting and fragile, easily shattered by the winds of misfortune or the opinions of others. At the heart of Stoic thought is the belief that we are the only ones who can control our inner world. We cannot control the actions of others, the events that unfold in our lives, or the judgments passed upon us. What we can control, however, is how we respond to these external forces. It is our reactions, our perceptions, and our choices that define us. When we take full responsibility for our inner state, when we cultivate mastery over our thoughts and emotions, we unlock the true power that lies within us. This power is not about domination or coercion, but about the quiet strength that arises from an unwavering sense of self and an unshakable belief in our ability to govern our actions. The first step in cultivating inner mastery is to practice self-awareness. Without a deep understanding of ourselves, we cannot hope to master our thoughts and emotions. We must be vigilant in observing our reactions to the world around us, recognizing when we are driven by fear, desire, or anger. The Stoics were acutely aware of the tendency for our minds to be pulled in different directions, to be tossed about by external events and our internal impulses. Epictetus, in particular, emphasized that we must learn to discern between what is within our control and what is not. By focusing on our own actions and responses, we can avoid being overwhelmed by the forces outside of our influence. It is in this clarity of mind that true confidence is born, for when we recognize that we have dominion over our thoughts, we also realize that we have the power to shape our reality. A critical aspect of inner mastery is the ability to govern our desires. The Stoics understood that unrestrained desire is one of the greatest obstacles to true confidence. When we are constantly seeking approval, wealth, or pleasure, we are tethered to external circumstances and the whims of fortune. Our confidence becomes fragile, dependent on outcomes that are beyond our control. True confidence, however, comes from the understanding that we do not need external validation or material possessions to feel complete. The Stoic seeks to cultivate contentment within, relying on virtue as the only true source of fulfillment. When we no longer seek validation from others, when we no longer crave external rewards, we are free to act with purpose and strength, unconcerned by the opinions of others or the vicissitudes of fate. This mastery over our desires is closely linked to the practice of temperance. temperance is the ability to exercise restraint and moderation in all things. It is not about denying ourselves pleasure or satisfaction, but about recognizing when desires become distractions, when they pull us away from our true purpose. The Stoic does not seek to suppress their desires, but rather to direct them towards what is good and virtuous. By exercising temperance, we avoid the turmoil that arises from unchecked desire, and we cultivate a steady, unshakable confidence that is grounded in self-control and wisdom. Equally important in the pursuit of inner mastery is the cultivation of emotional resilience. Life will inevitably bring challenges, loss, failure, disappointment, and it is our emotional responses to these challenges that often determine our sense of confidence. The Stoic teaches us that we must not allow our emotions to control us. Instead, we must cultivate the ability to respond to adversity with reason and equanimity. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, often reflected on the idea that our emotions are not the problem, but our judgment of those emotions. When we accept that emotions are natural and inevitable, but that our response to them is within our control, we begin to build emotional resilience. We learn to confront fear with courage, sadness with acceptance, and anger with patience. Through this practice, we become unshaken by the emotional turbulence that life may throw our way, and our confidence grows stronger as a result. Furthermore, inner mastery is not only about self-discipline but also about cultivating the wisdom to know what is truly important. Confidence arises not from the accumulation of wealth, status, or power, but from a deep understanding of what constitutes a meaningful and virtuous life. When we align ourselves with what is truly valuable, when we prioritize wisdom, integrity, and justice over fleeting pleasures, we build a foundation of confidence that cannot be easily shaken. This clarity of purpose is what allows the Stoic to face life's trials with grace and strength. We do not need to chase after the empty promises of the world. We only need to stay true to our principles and act in accordance with our highest values. In doing so, we find that our confidence is no longer dependent on external rewards, but on the inner peace that comes from living a life of virtue. The practice of inner mastery also involves an ongoing commitment to self-improvement. Confidence is not something that we can claim once and for all. It is something that we must continually strive to cultivate. It requires constant self-reflection, an openness to learning, and the willingness to correct our course when necessary. The Stoic leader is never complacent. They understand that true mastery is an evolving process, and they remain dedicated to growth and refinement throughout their lives. Each day presents an opportunity to improve, to practice virtue, and to strengthen our character. With every step we take on this path, our confidence grows, for we know that we are becoming more aligned with our true nature and more capable of facing whatever life may bring. In conclusion, the foundation of true confidence lies in inner mastery. It is the ability to control our thoughts, emotions, and desires, and to align our actions with virtue. When we achieve mastery over ourselves, we become unshakable in the face of external circumstances. We no longer seek validation from the world around us, for we know that our confidence is grounded in our own character and wisdom. The Stoic leader embodies this inner mastery, facing every challenge with calm, resilience, and unwavering strength. By committing ourselves to this path, we build a confidence that is lasting, rooted in self-control and virtue, and impervious to the external forces that might otherwise undermine us. 3. Control what you can, let go of what you can't. In the pursuit of true confidence, one of the most essential lessons we can learn is the distinction between what is within our control and what lies beyond it. This is a fundamental principle of Stoic philosophy, to focus our energy on the things we can change and to release any attachment to the things we cannot. The wise individual does not waste their time or energy lamenting circumstances outside of their influence, nor do they allow themselves to be overwhelmed by the chaos of the world. Instead, they channel their efforts toward the cultivation of their own character, the mastery of their own responses, and the alignment of their actions with virtue. At the heart of this Stoic teaching is the understanding that while we cannot control the actions of others, the natural events that unfold, or the opinions people hold of us, we can always control how we choose to respond to those things. This understanding brings immense freedom and inner peace, for it allows us to shift our focus from the uncontrollable to the controllable. By practicing this separation, we stop expending our mental and emotional resources on the futile task of changing what cannot be changed. Instead, we turn our attention inward, toward those aspects of our lives that we have the power to shape: our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes. This principle is embodied in one of the most famous sayings of Epictetus: "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." The wisdom of this statement lies in its simplicity. It is a call to action, urging us to direct our energy toward what we can influence: our own character, decisions, and behavior, and to accept with grace and dignity the things that lie beyond our control. When we embrace this mindset, we are no longer at the mercy of external events, but rather stand firm in our own ability to navigate them with wisdom and resilience. It is in this space of clarity and self-possession that true confidence is found. The first step in applying this principle is to cultivate awareness. We must regularly examine our lives and our experiences, discerning between what is within our power and what is not. When we face challenges, we must ask ourselves: can I control the outcome of this situation? Can I change the behavior of others? Can I alter the course of events? If the answer is no, then we must accept that these things are beyond our control and focus our efforts elsewhere. The Stoic leader does not become consumed with worry or frustration over things they cannot change. Instead, they focus on their response, on maintaining their composure, and on making the best choices available within the realm of their control. This practice is particularly powerful in the face of adversity. Life is full of challenges, difficult relationships, professional setbacks, and personal losses, and in these moments, it is easy to feel overwhelmed or helpless. Yet the Stoic teaches us that we are never powerless. While we may not be able to control the events themselves, we always have the power to choose our attitude toward them. We can choose to respond with patience, understanding, and resilience, or we can allow ourselves to be swept away by negative emotions and helplessness. By focusing on what we can control, the state of our own mind, we develop the strength and confidence to face any trial with equanimity. Consider the example of a soldier preparing for battle. The outcome of the war is uncertain, and the soldier cannot control the actions of the enemy or the circumstances of the fight. However, what the soldier can control is their own readiness, their training, their discipline, and their resolve. They can prepare themselves mentally and physically for the challenges ahead, and in doing so they build confidence. Even if the battle is lost, the soldier remains confident because their preparation, their courage, and their determination were within their control. Similarly, in life, we must focus on our own preparation, our own virtue, and our own actions, trusting that these efforts, regardless of the outcome, will provide us with the confidence to face whatever challenges arise. The key to mastering this principle is acceptance. We must accept that there are forces beyond our control, whether it is the behavior of others, the course of history, or the twists of fate. This acceptance is not passive resignation, but an active embrace of reality as it is. We do not waste time wishing for things to be different. We accept them as they are and choose to respond with wisdom. By doing so, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and frustration. We stop fighting against the current of life and begin to flow with it, trusting that our strength lies in our ability to navigate whatever comes our way with virtue and composure. This idea of control is also essential when we face criticism. In life, we are bound to encounter those who judge us, those who misunderstand us, or those who simply do not like us. The Stoic response is not to take these judgments personally, nor to seek to change the opinions of others. Instead, we must recognize that their views are beyond our control, and we must focus on how we respond to them. We can choose to remain steadfast in our values, to reflect on any constructive feedback, and to grow from the experience. The Stoic does not let the opinions of others define their sense of self-worth. Their confidence is rooted in their own integrity and their commitment to living according to their principles, not in the approval of others. In practical terms, applying this principle means letting go of unnecessary burdens. How much of our daily anxiety and desire stems from our attachment to things beyond our control? We worry about the future, about what others think of us, about things that may never come to pass. The Stoic teaches us to focus on what is real and present. The actions we can take, the thoughts we can cultivate, and the virtue we can embody. By releasing our attachment to things beyond our power, we free ourselves from the burden of worry and become more confident in our ability to handle whatever life presents. The confidence that arises from this practice is not fragile or fleeting. It is grounded in the understanding that we are in control of our inner world, regardless of the chaos that may unfold around us. The Stoic leader, when faced with difficulty, does not look to others for support or validation. They draw their strength from within, from their ability to choose their actions and attitudes in line with their values. In doing so, they embody the truest form of confidence, one that is resilient, self-sufficient, and unshaken by the external world. In conclusion, the path to true confidence lies in recognizing the distinction between what we can control and what we cannot. By focusing on our own thoughts, actions, and responses, and by letting go of attachment to the things outside our influence, we free ourselves from the tyranny of external forces. We develop the inner strength to face any situation with calm and clarity, knowing that our true power lies in our ability to control ourselves. The Stoic principle of focusing on what is within our control and accepting what is beyond it is the foundation of a confident, resilient, and virtuous life. 4. Confidence comes from living in accordance with your values. True confidence is not born from external sources such as fame, wealth, or the validation of others. These fleeting measures of success offer no lasting foundation upon which to build confidence. Instead, the Stoic recognizes that genuine confidence stems from living in harmony with one's deepest values, from being true to the principles that govern our lives. When we act in alignment with virtue, we cultivate a deep sense of self-assurance that is unshaken by external circumstances. This is the bedrock upon which a confident life is built. To live in accordance with our values means that our actions, thoughts, and decisions are not guided by external pressures, social expectations, or the desires of other sides of. Instead, they are guided by our understanding of what is truly important, what is right, just, and virtuous. The Stoic leader does not look to the world for validation, for they have already found it within themselves, in the certainty that they are living according to the highest ideals. It is in this unwavering commitment to virtue that true confidence arises, for when we live by our values, we become unshakable in the face of life's challenges. Living in accordance with our values also means being consistent in our actions, even when it is difficult or when others may disagree. The Stoic is committed to living a life of integrity, knowing that their worth is not determined by the fleeting opinions of others, but by their own steadfast commitment to what is right. They do not bend to the whims of the crowd or compromise their principles in the pursuit of short-term gain. Instead, they stand firm in their values, trusting that their confidence is rooted in the clarity and consistency of their choices. The first step in cultivating confidence through our values is to clearly define what those values are. In a world filled with distractions and competing desires, it can be difficult to discern what truly matters. The Stoic takes time to reflect on their life, their actions, and their priorities. They ask themselves, what do I truly value? What kind of person do I want to be? What virtues do I wish to cultivate? It is only by answering these questions with honesty and clarity that we can align our actions with our deepest values. Once we have a clear understanding of what is important to us, we can begin to act in accordance with these values, and our confidence will grow as a result. In practical terms, this means making choices that reflect our values every day. The Stoic leader does not wait for the perfect moment to demonstrate their principles. They live them consistently in every situation. If we value honesty, we speak the truth even when it is difficult. If we value kindness, we treat others with respect even when they do not treat us in the same way. If we value courage, we face our fears and take action even when it is uncomfortable. Each time we act in alignment with our values, we reinforce our own confidence, for we know that we are staying true to what we believe in. This practice also requires us to be aware of the times when our actions may deviate from our values. In those moments, the Stoic does not indulge in self-criticism or despair. Instead, they acknowledge the misstep, reflect on what went wrong, and make a conscious effort to realign their actions with their principles. The key is not perfection but consistency. Confidence is not the result of never failing but of continually striving to live in accordance with our values, learning from our mistakes and correcting our course when necessary. The Stoic understands that true growth comes not from avoiding failure, but from embracing it as an opportunity for learning and improvement. By consistently living according to our values, we build a sense of inner strength that is not easily shaken. We become unperturbed by external circumstances, for we know that our worth is not determined by the approval of others or the outcome of our efforts. It is determined by the integrity with which we live our lives. The Stoic leader stands firm in their values, and it is this unwavering commitment to virtue that gives them confidence. They are not concerned with the opinions of the crowd, for they have already found their validation in the certainty that they are living in alignment with their highest ideals. This confidence is not arrogance or pride, but a quiet, unshakable belief in one's own integrity. The Stoic leader is not boastful, nor do they seek to impress others with their virtues. Instead, their confidence is a reflection of their inner peace, of their unwavering commitment to doing what is right, regardless of the consequences. They do not act for the praise of others, but because it is in accordance with their values, and of course it is what gives them true confidence. Moreover, living in accordance with our values does not mean living a life without challenges. The Stoic leader faces hardship, adversity, and criticism just as we all do. What sets them apart, however, is their ability to remain steadfast in their principles, regardless of the obstacles they may face. They do not allow external challenges to shake their belief in what is right, and they do not compromise their values to avoid discomfort. In this way, living by our values becomes a source of strength, for it means we are not at the mercy of circumstances. We are guided by something far more enduring, the timeless principles of virtue. In conclusion, true confidence comes not from external achievements or the validation of others, but from living in accordance with our values. When we align our actions with virtue, we cultivate an inner strength that is impervious to external judgment or changing circumstances. The Stoic leader embodies this confidence, living consistently and courageously according to their principles and remaining unshaken by the challenges of life. By following this path, we can build a confidence that is lasting, unshakable, and rooted in the integrity of our character. 5. Confidence is strengthened by embracing adversity. The path to true confidence is not always smooth. Life is filled with challenges, hardships, and obstacles that test our strength and character. However, it is precisely through these trials that our confidence is forged. The Stoics understood that adversity is not something to be feared or avoided, but an essential part of the human experience that offers us the opportunity for growth. When we face hardship with resilience, when we confront difficulty with composure, we build a confidence that is not fragile or fleeting, but deep and enduring. Confidence, in the Stoic view, is not the absence of adversity, but the ability to endure and even thrive in the face of it. This lesson begins with the realization that we cannot control the circumstances of our lives. We do not have the power to prevent misfortune, failure, or hardship from coming our way. However, we do have control over how we respond to these challenges. We can choose to see them as opportunities to grow, to develop our strength and wisdom, or we can allow them to defeat us. The Stoic chooses the former. They recognize that every difficulty, no matter how painful or daunting, is an opportunity to practice virtue, whether that virtue is courage, patience, resilience, or wisdom. In this way, adversity becomes not something that undermines our confidence, but something that reinforces it. For each challenge faced with courage strengthens our belief in our own ability to endure. A key element of this mindset is the Stoic practice of reframing. When confronted with difficulty, the Stoic does not see it as an obstacle, but as a test of character. They understand that every challenge carries with it the potential for growth. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, often wrote about the importance of viewing hardship in this way. He saw adversity not as something that happened to him, but as something that revealed his true character. Rather than being defeated by obstacles, he embraced them as opportunities to strengthen his resolve and deepen his understanding of what it meant to live a virtuous life. This reframing of adversity is essential to building true confidence. When we face difficulties, we must remind ourselves that we are not victims of circumstance, but active participants in our own growth. Each struggle is a chance to prove to ourselves that we have the inner strength to overcome, and that, in overcoming, we become more confident in our ability to face whatever comes next. Adversity, of course, can take many forms: personal loss, professional setbacks, health challenges, or even societal upheaval. The Stoic leader understands that no matter the nature of the hardship, the response is always the same: to remain steadfast, to maintain one's composure, and to act in accordance with virtue. The Stoic does not allow external circumstances to define their sense of self-worth or their confidence. They know that true confidence is not dependent on what happens to us, but on how we choose to respond to what happens. It is in these moments of challenge that our true strength is revealed. When we endure difficulty with grace and resilience, we show ourselves and the world that we are capable of overcoming anything. This idea is encapsulated in the Stoic practice of negative visualization. By imagining the worst possible scenario, whether that be the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, or the death of a loved one, we prepare ourselves mentally for the challenges life may bring. This practice does not cause us to fear the worst, but to accept that life is uncertain, that hardship is inevitable, and that we are capable of facing it with dignity. In doing so, we lessen the power that adversity has over us. We become less attached to the outcomes and more focused on how we can maintain our virtue in the face of whatever comes our way. Through this preparation, we develop the mental fortitude to face adversity when it arrives, knowing that we have already mentally and implicitly equipped ourselves for the challenge. Moreover, the Stoic teaches us to view suffering as a part of life's natural order. Pain and hardship are not anomalies or injustices, but an inherent part of the human condition. To resist or deny this reality is to create unnecessary suffering. The Stoic does not rail against fate or wish for life to be different. They accept that hardship is inevitable, but they also recognize that how they respond to suffering is within their control. Instead of lamenting their fate, they embrace it as part of their journey. This acceptance of suffering is not resignation, but a powerful form of resilience. By accepting hardship, the Stoic frees themselves from unnecessary distress and finds the strength to endure with dignity. This acceptance is what allows us to maintain our confidence even in the face of overwhelming adversity. Furthermore, the Stoic reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles. Everyone, regardless of their status or position in life, faces hardship and difficulty. The Stoic does not see themselves as singled out or unfairly burdened by fate. They recognize that suffering is a universal experience, and in this recognition, they find solidarity with others. This sense of shared humanity can provide a source of strength, for it reminds us that we are not isolated in our struggles. By embracing adversity with resilience and composure, we not only build our own confidence but also inspire others to do the same. In practical terms, embracing adversity means taking deliberate action when faced with difficulty. The Stoic does not sit idle, waiting for problems to resolve themselves. Instead, they approach adversity with a clear mind, evaluating the situation and acting in the most virtuous way possible. If the challenge is a personal loss, they may seek to learn from the experience, finding meaning in the suffering. If the adversity is a professional setback, they may use it as an opportunity to reassess their goals, to grow from their mistakes, and to forge a new path forward. No matter the situation, the Stoic responds with intention and purpose, and in doing so, they build confidence in their ability to navigate life's challenges. The confidence gained from embracing adversity is not the kind of superficial confidence that comes from avoiding hardship or seeking comfort. It is a deep, unshakable confidence that arises from the knowledge that we are capable of enduring, growing, and thriving in the face of life's most difficult trials. The Stoic leader embodies this strength, facing each challenge with the calm assurance that comes from knowing they can handle whatever life may bring. This confidence is born not from the absence of adversity, but from the ability to face it with courage, wisdom, and virtue. In conclusion, confidence is strengthened not by avoiding adversity, but by embracing it. The Stoic leader understands that challenges and hardships are an inevitable part of life, but they also recognize that how they respond to these challenges is entirely within their control. By reframing adversity as an opportunity for growth, by practicing resilience in the face of difficulty, and by maintaining their virtue no matter the circumstances, the Stoic builds a confidence that is unshakable and enduring. This is the true power of confidence. Not that it shields us from hardship, but that it allows us to face hardship with strength and dignity. 6. Confidence grows through self-reflection and self-awareness. To cultivate lasting confidence, one must engage in the practice of self-reflection and develop a deep awareness of oneself. It is easy to become distracted by the noise of the external world, by the opinions of others, the praise or criticism we receive, and the constant demands of society. Yet the Stoic understands that true confidence is found not in external validation but in the clarity of self-knowledge. The more we understand ourselves, the more we can align our actions with our values, and the more unshakable our confidence becomes. Self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth, and without it, we are like a ship adrift on an unknown sea, susceptible to the whims of the wind and waves. With self-awareness, we chart our own course, guided by our inner compass, unbothered by the shifting tides of external circumstances. The Stoic leader begins with a profound commitment to understanding their own mind, their own thoughts, and their own motivations. They do not shy away from confronting their flaws, their weaknesses, or their fears. On the contrary, they welcome these insights as opportunities for growth. Self-awareness is not a process of self-criticism or self-judgment, but of honest examination. The Stoic asks themselves, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? Why am I reacting in this way? What is driving my behavior? By asking these questions, we begin to peel back the layers of our mind and gain insight into the forces that shape our actions and our decisions. Through this practice of introspection, we become more attuned to our true nature, and it is this deep understanding of ourselves that allows us to act with greater confidence and purpose. Self-awareness also helps us identify the beliefs and assumptions that may be limiting our potential. Often we are unaware of the unconscious beliefs that guide our behavior, beliefs such as I am not good enough or I must please others to be valued. These limiting beliefs are like invisible chains that keep us from living freely and confidently. Through self-reflection, we can identify these beliefs and begin to question their validity. Are they truly true? Are they serving us? The Stoic does not accept beliefs simply because they are ingrained in their mind. They challenge them, testing them against reason and virtue. As we examine our beliefs and replace those that are harmful or untrue with more empowering ones, our confidence grows. We free ourselves from the constraints of fear and insecurity, and we step into the world with a renewed sense of purpose. The process of self-reflection also allows us to cultivate a deeper understanding of our values. When we are clear about what matters most to us, we can begin to live in alignment with those values, and this alignment brings a profound sense of inner peace and confidence. The Stoic regularly reflects on their actions and decisions, asking themselves whether they are living according to their highest ideals. This practice of constant self-examination is not meant to induce guilt or self-punishment, but to foster a continuous process of improvement. Every day is an opportunity to become better, to align more closely with virtue, and to cultivate a stronger sense of self. Moreover, self-awareness allows us to be mindful of our emotional responses. Emotions, in and of themselves, are not inherently bad or good. They are simply natural reactions to stimuli. The Stoic, however, recognizes that it is not the emotions themselves that matter, but how we respond to them. By practicing mindfulness, we can observe our emotional reactions without becoming overwhelmed by them. Instead of allowing fear, anger, or frustration to dictate our actions, we can pause, reflect, and choose a more thoughtful response. This ability to detach from our immediate emotional reactions and respond with wisdom is a sign of true confidence. It means that we are not slaves to our emotions but masters of them, capable of making decisions that align with our values and goals rather than our impulses. One of the most powerful tools for self-reflection is journaling. The Stoic philosopher, in the tradition of Marcus Aurelius, often turned to writing as a means of clarifying their thoughts and reflecting on their actions. By putting pen to paper, we can externalize our thoughts and gain a clearer perspective on our lives. Journaling allows us to reflect on the events of the day, the choices we made, and the lessons we learned. It also provides us with a space to ask ourselves difficult questions, such as, did I live according to my values today? Where did I fall short? What can I do differently tomorrow? Through this process of regular reflection, we come to know ourselves more deeply, and in doing so, we cultivate a confidence that is grounded in self-awareness and personal growth. Self-reflection also helps us to see the interconnectedness of our actions and their consequences. Often we act impulsively without considering the long-term impact of our choices. Through self-awareness, we learn to pause and reflect before we act. We recognize that our actions have ripple effects, influencing not only our own lives but the lives of those around us. By being more mindful of our behavior, we can act with greater intention, choosing the path that aligns with our values and contributes to our growth. This intentionality breeds confidence, for when we know that our actions are purposeful and aligned with our deeper sense of meaning, we feel more grounded and secure in our decisions. In conclusion, confidence is built through the practice of self-reflection and self-awareness. By taking the time to understand ourselves deeply, our thoughts, emotions, values, and beliefs, we can align our actions with our truest self. Through this alignment, we cultivate a confidence that is unwavering and resilient. The Stoic leader knows that they cannot control the world around them, but they can control their own responses and actions. With self-awareness, they can navigate life with clarity, purpose, and confidence, knowing that they are living in accordance with their deepest values and highest potential.